The purpose of this show is solely to provide information for you to make your own decisions on the subjects that are presented. Welcome to the Ben Armstrong Show, folks. India is leaving the dollar and is wanting to do that because they want to trade with Russia. But this, having India leave the dollar, means economic disaster is looming. Folks, I warned you of this when they were threatening the SWIFT system against Russia and using economic war. And I told you how dangerous that is. That could lead to nuclear war. It can also lead to economic disaster. And here is the leading to economic disaster. Joe Biden has done this to you, but he did this with the globalists. He's just following the globalist order. This is about destroying the dollar on purpose, folks. Now, I think India is just reacting. I don't think they're necessarily, I don't know, in on it per se, but the globalists want to bring in a one world government. Russia hates America. The globalists hate America. The Biden administration hates America. They want to change it and destroy it. The fools in all of this are the globalists in America. As I have said for such a long time, you can look back at past shows. I've always told you, the globalists who are in America are the biggest fools of all. They think that the globalists around the world are going to allow the Americans to still be in control. Why would they? This is how dumb they are. Why would the globalists around the world who want a one world government want to remove us from the dollar system and destroy the dollar system? I understand for slavery reasons, and they can't have the Constitution sitting there, and how do you get rid of the Constitution and get America integrated? But the globalists in America that have went along with all this crap, thinking, yeah, we're going to have this great global government, don't understand that they are going to be double-crossed. How could they not know this? I don't know how they don't know this. They're pretty stupid. They're the dumbest of all the globalists, the American globalists. You're going to be double-crossed and destroyed. They are not going to let you be in control anymore. That's why they're bringing your country down. But see, they think the globalists say, no, we're going to bring America's wealth down. Then America's going to be part of this one world global government. No. The only person that they are going to want out of America is Barack Obama. That's it. They don't want any of you, all you minions that are behind all of this in globalism, all you Republican globalists, all you Democrat globalists. You are nothing to them. You're playing with big boy gangster people, communist China and Russia, and the gangsters who are the globalists in Europe. Those guys, see, those guys will slit your throat and laugh. And I'm not meaning literally, although who knows what some of the people we're dealing with. Some of them are actually evil, but I'm just using it as a metaphor. The Democrats and the Republicans who are globalists in America, do you know who they're used to fighting? They fight against conservatives or libertarians or people who aren't part of it, but usually Christian conservatives are their biggest adversary. And our globalists think, see, they've fought against Christian conservatives. Christian conservatives don't do or respond the way the world will respond. So they're so used to the loving kindness of Christianity, even though they do such despicable evil things to Christian conservatives. They don't know what it's like to play with people who are the most ruthless, vicious people on the planet. They're used to Christian conservatives, who are the least ruthless, vicious people on the planet. So they get in bed with these people, and they are going to end up destroyed themselves. They are morons. They are fools. They are going to destruction. Every globalist who lives in America, with the exception of Barack Obama, because he will be accepted, they will have him. They will probably move him to the complete leadership. But everybody else, you're an idiot. You're a fool. And I'm on record saying it, and it will play out this way, and I will be proven right, but no one's going to care when I'm proven right. I'm just here to warn you guys now. We are on the path. India is the very beginning of economic destruction. How long does it take? How long will it take? I have no idea. It could be years. It could be months. It could be weeks. I have no idea. Absolutely no clue how long this will take. I don't know if it will snowball and go quick. I don't know if it will slow, because they do want a controlled bring down of the United States. That's what they want. But when you're messing with the Ukraine and Russia and the globalists, all these evil parties fighting with each other, what they're doing is they just want a power struggle. My last episode explained it all. This is all a power struggle for positioning themselves and getting ready for the collapse of America. That's what they're doing. That's what Russia's doing. Russia is fighting against the globalists for position in power. Putin is, specifically. Putin is fighting against the globalists. The globalists don't like Putin because Putin's uncontrollable. But they're all getting prepared. The reason why they're going at it right now is because they know time is short. They know the collapse of America is happening, and they're trying to do it, but they also have to fight amongst themselves, because nothing ever goes exactly the way you plan. Nothing ever goes extremely smoothly. And so that's why you're seeing some wars break out. And you're going to see more wars break out as these globalist people know a change in the world that they have created and are trying to make happen is going to happen. They're all going to position for power. It's just human nature, folks. Let me give you Alex Jones, though. He talks about India and China leaving the dollar. I just want you to know, I cannot confirm that China has officially said that they are, that they're leaving the dollar. All I could find is that they're saying that India has said they're leaving the dollar, and they're going to trade with Russia for sure and buy oil cheaply from Russia. That I've seen multiple reports on. I know that's happening. After that, I see reports that say China will soon follow, but it doesn't say that they've done it yet. Alex Jones is just jumping the gun and saying they've already done it. I don't think they have officially already done it. I don't have any confirmation on that. So I don't know if he's right or wrong on this. I couldn't confirm it, so I think he's just jumping the gun and he's just basically saying it's going to happen, but he kind of acts like it's already. Technically, it hasn't already happened for China. It is happening with India, and this is the beginning. Take a listen to what he had to say on InfoWars, Alex Jones.
Now, that's just the start. Would you like me to give you the evidence today that we talked about in the last month or so, but was hard to believe? China and India, which collectively are 2.79 billion, or almost 2.8 billion people, almost half the world population, the largest part of the world economy combined, have officially left the dollar. And the dollar's dropping. And the ruble's exploding. And we have been completely betrayed. And instead, the globalists have got it all set up to censor everybody and shut everybody down and cause a civil war while they finish the country off. Great job, trendies and mainline conservatives and all of you that sat there and allowed this to happen. So all you folks that had a chip on your shoulder about America, all you weird leftists that were pissed because your grandpa or whatever wasn't allowed in the WASP country club. And now you're Larry Fink, so you're going to show America and destroy it, all because somebody was mean to your grandpa. That's where we are now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Larry Fink, you destroyed America. Pound our head on the wall. Congratulations, buddy. But here's the thing. They think they're going to get away with what they've done to this nation. And they're not going to get away with it in the end. And this isn't going to go the way they planned. It's going to lead to massive famine, global collapse. They wanted that. But it's going to lead to war, and it's going to lead to them being exposed, and it's going to lead to them being in prison.
Well, I don't think it's going to lead to them being in prison. Not at all. I do agree with them that it's not going to go the way as planned. There's going to be more wars that break out because it's not going to go exactly the way. There are Christians in America that are going to take strong stands, and people are going to be warning them. It's not going to be easy, even with all of this, even with what they're doing to the dollar. It's still not going to be easy. It's still going to take time. Even with India coming off, a billion people, India has more than a billion people, and China, like he's saying, you're basically having half the world population, and you got to understand. Some of you might be thinking, who cares if they come off the dollar? No. Your greedy punk politicians that spent all this money, and you know that inflation that has gone up and up and up. The only reason why America hasn't financially collapsed is because the world trades on the dollar. Think of if the world traded on gold. We can just make our own gold. Okay? So we keep ourselves afloat, and that's why they think they can just print money. As soon as the other world countries say, you know what? We're not even on that system anymore. Our inflation will go even higher, and an economic collapse. Basically, what happened to Venezuela will happen here. And the food shortages and the supply chains and people, folks, it will get really, really bad. Getting off the dollar will lead to this even more so. They've already caused massive inflation on purpose. They've already made it so we're not energy independent when Trump made us energy independent. Do you think that's an accident? Do you think they're dumb? They just do that by accident, and they're so dumb they don't know how to be energy independent. They know they don't want America to be energy independent. Why? Because our globalists have been bought off and told by the globalists around the world, as they have been being paid off to be part of the globalists, and they've gotten rich following what the globalists say. They're just totally in sin of the love of money, and you can get them to do anything. They are betraying their own country because they think, well, look, it's been good for me so far. I've been able to get super rich so far. We've been able to print trillions of dollars and make our friends in corruption get rich. So let's just keep listening to the people that helped us do all this crap, not knowing that the people around the world, those people are vicious, and they don't want America around anymore. And they will be extremely vicious and backstab and betray the American globalists. And the American globalists are going to their own destruction. And it's weird because they know they're destroying America, yet somehow they think they're going to survive this destruction with nothing happening to them. So when Alex Jones says they will pay prices, it won't go the way they want, that's for sure. But they will get their global government. It just won't be exactly the way they thought it would be, and it won't come about exactly the way they think it will. And if they get really, really desperate and they can't economically bring America down the way they want, all they have to do is trigger one nuclear weapon in New York City. We're not talking about the World Trade Center. Look at what the World Trade Center did, folks. You understand? That was 2 airplanes. And look what it did. Look at what it did economically. That is a blip. That's like a scratch to New York City compared to a nuclear weapon going off in New York City. You wouldn't even have to hit any other cities, and America would completely collapse. But I don't think they would leave it to chance. If they got that desperate, I don't even think it would be fully in their control. I think things are going to escalate out of control, and you have to worry about Vladimir Putin. Putin has been preparing for this. Folks, Putin was touting just last year that he has brand new 3 doomsday planes. They're called doomsday. He calls them doomsday planes so he can conduct doomsday from these airplanes. I just saw a report, someone sent it to me, and I want to tell you, where it's talking about the Putin going down to a bunker. And should the world be concerned because he's going down to a bunker? I'll let you guys all know. Watch for when Putin takes to the air, because they always tell you what they're really going to do. He was touting I can run a doomsday war from my airplane and never land during the whole thing if I need to. You know, think of Air Force One. Putin has his versions. He built 3 brand new ones. I think he might have a total of 7 if you count like the old ones. And what he would do is launch all 3, and he'd be on one of them. And all 3 would keep flying around, and they'd keep refueling it in the air. But you wouldn't know which one he's on, and it would already be hard. And if the nuclear war is happening down, no one's going to be even thinking about, we got to find where Putin is flying around in the air. Just so you know, he's got this planned out. He's even told the media. That's how he would do it. Conduct doomsday. And he calls them the doomsday planes, and he acts like he wants to conduct a doomsday someday. I just don't know when that will be. But I can't tell you for sure. I can tell you that I do believe America is going to its own destruction. I want you to hear more from Alex Jones, though. He's been very passionate on this, and I can understand why. He spent most of his life warning people that this stuff is coming, and he has a huge chunk of audience that knows that, but, you know, he was labeled a conspiracy theorist, obviously, but almost all of his stuff has come true. So how can you label him that? Yes, he's been wrong here and there on things. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes he's gotten himself into trouble, and he needs some, I'm sure in the past, more self-control in what he was when he's talking about certain things. I can understand that. But for the most part, I'm telling you, Alex Jones is very good at giving you news that other people won't report, but is real news, is news out there, and just people just don't report it. So take a listen.
So let me give you the news here. Ruble at the highest rate against U.S. dollars since February 28th. They tried to tank the ruble. It had the opposite effect. Russia's got more oil than anybody else on earth, more than the U.S. and Saudi Arabia and Venezuela combined. And now it's going to sell unlimited oil to China and India, because China and India don't take dollars anymore for oil, and that's the world reserve currency. That's the Bretton Woods Agreement after World War II. That's the whole system of the New World Order after World War II, the New Order, America as the British Empire. And deliberately, the people that run the British Empire, the American Empire, are deliberately shutting us down to bring us to our knees and let China and other authoritarian regimes take over.
And what they'll say is that capitalism failed. And these are the people who are anti-capitalist. Remember, the Democrat Party has been anti-capitalism my whole life. But America doesn't even really practice capitalism. This is crony capitalism. It's corruption. When you have corrupt people doing corrupt things, we haven't been practicing capitalism. They've been picking winners and losers and helping massive corporations and squashing the little guy. Folks, the free market allows for people to compete, but when you're picking sides and you squash with taxes and regulations the competition to have your friends win, and then they spread the wealth right back to you and pay you off and give you a board seat. As you know, all these political people go and sit on boards of these companies and stuff to get paid to do absolutely nothing. It's a payout for helping them. And many times these big corporations advocate for much higher taxes. Why? Because they want to squash their competition. They can afford it, but the competition can't, and then they get the whole market to themselves. What made America great is the anti-monopoly stance that we had. A lot of people give credit to the unions, but they don't understand it wasn't that. There was unions, people did unify. It wasn't that, though. It was not allowing monopolies. When there's a monopoly, you can treat your workers like crap, because where are they going to go? What are they going to do? The company can treat its customers like crap. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? But if there's competition, then people can say, screw you, I'll take my business elsewhere. Or, screw you, I won't work for you. You're treating me like crap and don't pay me well. I'm going to work for this guy because he will pay me well. Competition and free market is what creates that. If you have monopolies, that's it. You don't have freedom, you don't have capitalism. And America has a bunch of high-tech monopolies is the way you can look at it, where they squash any competition and don't really allow competition to rise up. And that's why you're seeing a lot of trouble. A little bit more from Alex Jones, because he had a lot to say. I could give you a ton of what he had to say, and I want to give you as much as I can.
While they put in a rotting, disintegrating puppet who can't even basically talk, even with cue cards in his hands, as the emblem of American weakness and death. And I said, them putting Biden in last year, I said, is the emblem of America's death. You would only put him in as the symbol of, hey, the old year's going out. It's New Year's Eve, 11:59. And the year turns into a skeleton right in front of you, and that year is gone, and the new year begins, the little baby. And they are telling you it's over. They are telling you that they've done this. India refiners make fresh purchase of Russian oil despite U.S. warning. India will drop the dollar to trade with Russia, replacing SWIFT. You take a look at the map of the world, Russia and India and China, and you get those guys working together, it's game over, global domination.
I don't know if it will be game over, obviously not right away. And it's not that they will win, because there's going to be wars, there's going to be things that they can't even think, things that I can't think of that will come up in between. There's going to be natural disasters that are going to start to happen. Why do I say natural disasters will start to happen? I'm not saying because of like a secret program controlling the weather. I'm saying because I think we're moving even closer to the end time. And the Bible tells me there will be natural disasters. But if you want to know so much more and why I am pessimistic about America's future, I don't sugarcoat things. If that's what I see and I see it coming, I tell you. If it was good news, like I used to tell people Trump was going to beat Hillary Clinton, and I told people it would happen, and it did. I was very optimistic then, because that was the truth, and that's what I was seeing. This is the truth and what I am seeing. But if you want to see stuff for yourself, I suggest in biblical prophecy and see how it all connects with what you're living right now, read Revelation 17 and 18. I suggest you do that. Revelation 17 and 18, go read that, and I think you'll get a much better understanding. But pray for wisdom when you're reading Bible prophecy, because you could easily get lost and not understand. I love you guys. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. You better know that. See ya! Hey folks, the New American is guided by the Constitution. They are all about fighting for the freedoms that the Constitution guarantees us, and how the Constitution limits government. And they're all about keeping the government limited according to what the Constitution and our forefathers set up. If you have not understood what the New American is about, well, I think that pretty much sums it up. Keeping America what it was supposed to be, a lawful constitutional government, and the Constitution is king in America, and it should be, and we need to protect it. And you can help by going to thenewamerican.com and subscribing as well. Do it.